of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
Hello again, everybody. It's Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer. It's another 100-degree day outside, so I'm not even going to make a pretense of sampling something for the summertime, because you're not going to be wanting to sit out and do that anyway. So I have gotten a lot of beers that have been sent to me by representatives for my consideration, and I will try to do videos for every one of them, I hope, maybe a few at a time. But first, I wanted to bring in some of the local beers that I've found all by myself and talk about them. So we're going to start with the return of Baderbräu Pilsener. Doing the zoom shot here. See if the autofocus will take care of that. Or not. There we go. Thank you. Baderbräu is one of the earliest Chicago craft beer brands. Came on the market around 1988 and lasted for a good time. Eventually was sold to Goose Island, which put it out for a while and then shut it down. Well, some of the fans of Baderbräu found the name was available, bought the trademarks, and found the original brewers and got the recipe, and say that what they've now put out is the same as the original Baderbräu. So we're going to go take a look at that. Now, I've had this at a Chicago Craft Beer Week event at Stocks and Blondes downtown. It was on tap, and at the time pardon me, at the time I thought it had a very soft water taste to it, which is the style of water that is used in making pilsners in the original Bavarian Czechoslovakian town of Pilsen. And let's pick a glass for this. For really light German and Eastern European beer styles, they usually like to do a nice narrow glass. This is showing a lot of debris in it though, so we'll go with so you like a nice thin narrow glass that shows off the very pale color of the beer, and they're going to be a lot smaller. This one is only 2/10 of a liter. It has a Plimsoll line. And of course the idea is, as you're sitting around drinking at the Gasthaus, the waiter will come around and just keep filling and filling, and just make a little chalk mark around your beer coaster. And when it's time to leave, you pay up and just put your coaster on top of the glass, and that tells the waiter you're ready to go. Anyway, so this one has a nice bright yellow color, and it still kicks up a pretty big head here. Now that's a much better malt profile. I think the tap version might have just still needed a little bit of fine-tuning, but it's got a nice golden malt note to it. Yeah, it still has a little bit of soft water taste to it, but now I think the hops are a little more closely dialed in to kind of counteract that. There's a nice sharp and spicy German noble hop colored aroma to it, and hop taste to it. Now, I don't have too much memory. I know I've had Baderbräu when it was first out. I even went to the original brewery in the industrial park in Elmhurst to pick some up, see what the shouting was about. So I can't claim, though, that I remember it exactly as it was. But this is a pretty good Pilsner beer, as opposed to a pale, regular old pale lager without much character. This is loaded with character. They've really put in a lot of the hops that you'd recognize from a good Eastern European, Czechoslovakian, Bavarian, German beer. In fact, the hops on that sip, they're almost at American strength, but that's a fresh couple of bottles that I just purchased. They're now available at Binny's, and hopefully we'll see them spread out. They're on tap at a few places in the Chicago area, and they're well worth seeking out. I'm putting a recommendation on Baderbräu, the original Chicago craft beer, now returned, and as far as I can tell, if it's not exactly the same as the original, it's still pretty darn good.
Now don't be afraid of it.